Hello guys, it's Javon here, and I'm going to basically tell you on research types and how they're used and the reason why they're used, and I'm going to state each individual one to basically show to you on the values of why we use them for a reason. Okay, so primary research. Primary research is information what you've done yourself, so and it research what's not been done before, so it's counted as your own research. Primary research is used for many reasons. It is used to get the public's opinion on certain subject matters, or it is used to basically back up bits of information what you've grasped from various other sources. And this is very good to, it's kind of worth it because then you're getting other people's suggestions and it kind of helps. The way a person would use primary research is they would use it with public opinions. This is done by surveys or questionnaires. So, for example, if you would say something like, "Do you like animation?" or "What type of animation do you like?" or do you like effects? Or you basically could say, are heavy design characters very important and stuff like that. In the end, it basically all adds up to get the viewers' answer to see if they like your product, and generally if they want to buy your product in a whole company and stuff like that. Now, secondary research is information what you have what's hasn't been seen before, so something or someone else has already done, and information was already out there, and it would be used to back up someone's point in a particular subject. Like, so for example, say if I said, say if I had to find some research on something, and then I put a survey out, but then I used that research from that secondary source to basically try and help me out with it, and basically to explain my point in more detail, basically, and it kind of helps you out. But if a person was going to use this, if a person was going to use secondary research for a product, it would be used to look on different views of other companies and other companies' products. The other person could use research to make their products better. Secondary research can also act as a guide. So when I'm talking about acting as a guide, it can basically help you to do certain tasks what you wouldn't usually do, and basically kind of help you to follow off something and try and give you kind of advice in a certain way, or kind of help you in a certain manner. So that's why it's kind of useful. Okay. Now, quantitative research is generally it deals with numbers, so kind of in a way kind of statistics, or not even statistics in a certain thing, but it also can be like money. So, and in the media, that's what you'll use money, and that's what this kind of is. So quantitative is research when what is used with numbers, and it is generally used to see the difference between how much a product is and how much it's making. So in business terms, if the company has a competitor, they would look on the project and what they are making, in which they would go forward to find a way to make more money than make more money than their competitor. And this research can be very useful when you're trying to balance your company's budget. So balance between both of them. So if you got a competitor, and then you're trying to find a way to beat them and not lose money towards them, you're basically trying to look on how much their company makes and then how much yours makes, and then basically try and see how you can end up making yours higher. Basically that's what it is though. Qualitative research is a method to help you acquire academic resources, and basically can help you to explain human behavior in terms of marketing and looking on products and how they would be presented. Yeah, on how they would be presented, and it would look upon more in depth, like to tie in with particular market subjects. So, for example, say if a certain amount of audience or a certain amount of people like a certain thing, but then certain people wouldn't like it because of certain things. That's basically what qualitative research kind of helps. It kind of helps you to in the terms of marketing and other stuff. It kind of helps you to try and get your product to fit basically different types of audience and stuff like that, and human behaviors basically. And well, I think the film I chose to kind of display how a company would do this kind of research. I chose the Batman: The Dark Knight kind of film, and that's obviously it's made by Warner Brothers, and storyline obviously taken from DC Comics, but they would have probably made the film. And now even though DC Comics own the story rights and to the characters in the film was in the production, the other companies would have need to be involved to fit the cost of making the product itself. So even though DC owned the actual whole film or the actual characters and all the storyline, it's Warner Brothers themselves would have to try and use their money to try and basically see how much it would cost and basically get it, and then other companies would have to pitch in and then to help out with other stuff and marketing and stuff, other stuff to try and help out. And the way they would estimate how much they would cost is they would make so when you look on marketing for Warner, they would have spent they would have spent 4,602 million. So that's a lot of money, but that's basically how much they spent on basically the marketing part and stuff like that. But I think that's including the actual other companies what are helping out with what have helped out with the film as well. And to cover the cost of marketing and getting the film posted on, and this would have included like getting the film posted on all around, and to get people to watch the film basically. When you look on the audience, you would have to find the age group, and Batman Dark Knight it uses an age certificate of 12A, even though you would think that 12A, that's small, so that's basically for children, and it kind of is. But the only thing is, with this, it's like Warner Brothers and the actual company themselves, they don't want to make just the film for a younger audience. They want to try and get a whole family bunch, and because this film's The Dark Knight's supposed to be like a family orientated film, but it's not gonna be like that because they want to get as much people in the cinema as possible, the more the better, and that's why it's kind of useful that they should actually try and include some elements to actually bring in audience. And because of this, it could affect the older audience, as they would see the film is aimed mostly against the younger group, and because it's a 12A, it would be aimed against kind of young teenagers, and it just wouldn't. And that's why I think generally people won't really see it as much. However, their main goal is to try and get ages to watch it, and they would try and get the film aimed close to families, so many people would watch the film. So, and like I said before, the reason why they try to make it 12A, but to try and say that it's a kind of adult film as well, but they want to get as more audience as possible. They're trying to get it so it's like everyone. It's not just going to be the younger people. Even though there'll be loads of young people who would love to watch Batman, they're trying to get as much audience as possible because then more money, which means they're going to make their profit back. And that's what kind of makes sense and the reason why they do that. Thank you for listening. I'm Javon, and that's all research time.